Whether we come back and lie to the Vailians about the island of Poko Kohara, it doesn't matter. They will send a ship to see if we are telling the truth or not. I would love to stop them dead in their tracks when it comes to exploding the luminous Audra around the Deadfire. This is a practice that I don't believe is healthy to those poor souls inside it. They wouldn't listen to just one watcher, though, despite what I say. Once they find their precious giant luminous Audra vein still intact, and the bad weather around Poko Kohara gone, Maya Rua would be happy with my intentions, but I inadvertently helped her people's enemies, and that is something that she may get in trouble for. Well, I can only make the choices that I feel is best. I may want Rauatai to dominate over the Vailians, but that doesn't mean that I will go against my morals to do so. What's done is done, and if given a future option to work against the Vailians, then I will take it. Just not at the cost of who I am. We're about to leave Tikawara, probably for good. I didn't want to leave Vector the dwarf, though.
Soon the director will send supplies and immensers and soldiers.
Let's see if he wants to come along.
Unless you have room on your ship.
He looks at me, kneading his knuckles. I found the remains of your expedition.
That you mean? Madiko.
His thick brows rise in alarm.
If the expedition failed, the company will hesitate to finance a second one. They might close the book forever.
Good. I'm hoping they will. He sighs, scratching his head.
If their work was finished, their families in the republics would be compensated.
He looks at me beseechingly. I'm sorry, indeed.
Perhaps I should only be grateful they left me here.
He looks away. Triumph could use a cook, unless you'd rather stay here.
I would consent to be chained to your galley if it saved me from this dump.
He sighs and pockets his dish rag. Vector is now part of my crew. Time to leave. It's a nice, beautiful place. If I ever wanted to stay on a small island, and be part of the Juana, this is a place to go. Leave by sea. Where to now? Well, I would actually like to return to Neketaka, speak to the Vailians, and I guess the Rauatai won't be very impressed, unless I can convince them that there's no point in coming back. Now, there are a couple bounties that we have. Kill O'Hara and take his ship's triumph. Southern end of Kuo-o-Rikuhu. Island chain due east of Neketaka. Yeah, we haven't explored that area. And Chornu. I thought we took Chornu. Yeah. Return to Udita. Lifter's Refuge in Dunnage and claim my reward. Sorry. Bounty Veen. Sails his dhow reckless far to the east of Neketaka and past the Kuo-Rikuhu island chain. Bounty Radolf. East of Neketaka by the southwestern tip of the Kuo. So Kuo-Rikuhu, there are a lot by. Bounty Tahe. Okay, so we've killed him. Queen's Birth at the Wild Mare. Bounty under the Siren of the Great Kuo-Rikuhu chain. Okay, western now. So the Kuo-Rikuhu, we're going to find about half a dozen bounties. Flamewalker Vesali presently occupies her latest conquest, one of the eastern isles of the Kuo-Rikuhu chain. Okay, that's a rich area to get bounties. But we're going to return to Neketaka. Did I miss this island? Grave Island. Yeah, we went to Grave Island. I named it that. Let's change up Seraphin for Aloth. We can finally go and explore The island of Neketaka. There's a lot of dangerous places there before. There's only a few days to the east. I'm surprised the Vailians haven't gone and explored, and I don't know. Settled all parts of it that they can. Assessed properties and distributed them. Okay, so the Queen's bounties
You
is
certainly seem cheerful lately. Sleeping better, I hope?
Sure am. Been sleeping like a newborn babe. But, well, less fussy.
I don't suppose you could share your secret. I rarely get a decent night on the ship.
Oh, it's easy. You just gotta get the tar shocked out of you when you dump a bunch of souls into a luminous Audra pillar.
Okay, Shoti. Okay, first things first, we'll go and spend the night at the local inn, and then we'll go see the Vailian Trading Company in the morning. Perhaps we should swap out Maya with Tekehu if we're going to be talking about his people, but after this. The guard nods polite greeting.
Welcome back. Governor Alvari will see you.
So formal. Hello again?
Ah, good, you're back. I hope you had a pleasant voyage.
Alvari looks up from her papers, giving me her full attention. A very strange voyage, sure.
Ah. Before you get too far on the way, I think you ought to come with me. Director Castol will want to hear from you in person.
I take it this is of the utmost importance for the Vailian Trading Company, then. I'm about to squash their dreams if I can. The man who rises to greet me has a tidy, scholarly bearing, only emphasized by the thin-framed lenses he pushes further up his nose. He clasps his hand together, offering me a smile, equal parts polite and relieved.
Alvari tells me you were kind enough to look into this business on Poko Kohara for us. I hope you bring good news.
A lot of corpses for one viable Audra pillar. I hope it's worth it.
A terrible price, to be certain. But at least we have not lost everything. An Audra vein of that size will go some way towards setting us back on our feet. And the crew, Beza and the others.
They died in the ruins at Poko Kohara. The defenses were too much for them.
A sorry end for such dedicated individuals. How very fortunate that you lived to tell their tale. I believe I can take things from here, Alvari. Agrasima. The Watcher and I have more business to discuss. Oh, and do pay the man for his trouble first.
Alvari wordlessly hands me a coin purse. She bows stiffly, then turns to depart. 1,700 coppers, not that much for something of this size that we did for them. 17,000, 10,000 would be much better.
I thought it best I speak with you face to face. Watchers are not so numerous here in the Deadfire, especially those of such storied backgrounds as yourself. What was that group? The, dozens? Some interesting exploits there.
That was back in the Darewood, before Cadnua was destroyed.
And I think that we are, each of us, in a position to offer each other something that we cannot find elsewhere. The Vailian Trading Company has had a presence on this island for nearly a century now. We have the greatest fleet on the seas, the support of the richest men and women in the world. What can the Royal Deadfire Company offer? A soldier's wages, so that you can elevate the fortunes of a distant king? And the Queen? A place in the Kahanga tribe among all the rest of these neglected people. You've lived outside the caste system all these years. Are you eager to return to it? I can give you money, fame, certainly. But the men and women of the company, we set our aims high. And if I only wanted to offer you work as an Adra inspector, I would have let Alvari deal with you.
Isn't Adra what your company is after?
Yes, of course. But consider the luminous Adra is only valuable because of what it can offer those who consume it. The Vailian Trading Company has maintained an outpost here in Neketaka for nearly a century now. It was only 2 years ago that we discovered the effects of luminous Adra with the aid of our animancers and several watchers.
Several. I've only met watchers who are dead, actually. I've never met a live one.
Flaune Alette has continued to study the potential of luminous Adra in all manner of advances. Why content ourselves to sell all this Adra as a luxury when we might use it to change the world?
How so?
But of course you understand all of this. Alette sent word of your involvement in her latest experiment. A very dramatic first attempt, I hear. Though Alette has a tendency to gloss over details. But I want to hear it from you.
That was...
How did it go?
A terrible experience, actually. It didn't work like we expected. My soul was transported, but not my body.
Separating watchers from their souls is very much not what we want. A pity. Alette was having some luck with some of the volunteers. Short leaps, admittedly. A near-death experience does little to recommend Alette's efforts. I am glad you are in one piece, Watcher. We are in the early days of Alette's research. Flawed as this outing was, there is promise there. This is only the start, you know. The very dawn of a new age of discovery. But just imagine.
Casto spreads his hands. His eyes behind his spectacles are fever-bright with enthusiasm.
Imagine if we could transport goods and people more quickly than any vessel or horse. Cure every kind of ailment. Perhaps cure disease altogether. We'll extend our lifespans by decades. Maybe even centuries one day.
Look, there's only so much luminous Adra. I think that eventually you'll run out of it. And the fact is that people's souls are in there. That does not make me feel good about all this.
This has all been the work of a single outpost. I want there to be a dozen outposts, 100. Animancers working together to better our lives.
That's not a bad idea, I just don't like the idea of breaking up the luminous Adra.
Look at what we have left behind. Old Valia is a battlefield at constant war with itself. But the republics have risen from that past. We can rise farther still. And in doing so, we will raise all of Aora with us.
And if they like the world as it is...
No Huana will miss plague or insanity. Why, they might even appreciate what animancy might do for the caste system. But I've said enough. Too much, I think. There will be more experiments to come. Until then, I have a more grounded task I need assistance with. Nothing that should put your spirit in any danger. Neketaka sees its share of smuggling. I doubt that would surprise anyone. But we've learned of a particular exchange that will have more dire effects than a few spoiled Hawana peasants. There is a Royal Deadfire Company official by the name of Quarno, who has been meeting in secret with one of the Principi. I do not believe he works with the approval of his masters. He meets with a Captain Tola, a known pirate and smuggler. I hope I don't have to tell you that an alliance between a crooked royal official and the Principi is not the kind of trouble any of us need. I have a woman, Britza, waiting in the luminous bathhouse in Periki's Overlook. The smugglers do business there, and she has kept an eye on things. I promise to send assistance. Find her, and she will tell you what she knows.
Why not just tell the Royal Deadfire Company?
Telling you amounts to much the same, no? Someone has to put a stop to things.
Good thing that someone is us. Rauatai and black powder is worth its weight in Adra out here.
Well, I don't know. I had some questions first.
Of course. Best to go in prepared.
What can you tell me about Brisse?
A fine Vailian woman. Steady temperament. Good sense. The bathhouse sees an enormous number of patrons every day. It is a useful place to have a set of eyes and ears on hand.
Why help the Royal Deadfire Company?
The discipline of the royal officers isn't really what any of this is about. I'm more concerned about the pirates. In this particular case, the companies share an enemy.
Do you know anything else about these smugglers?
Only that Tola is a captain of middling repute and some small ambition. I expect she feels that a partnership with Quarna will give her an edge. Britza will know more.
I suppose I'll do it.
Excellent. Meeting you has been a stroke of luck, Watcher. I'll await your report.
Perhaps I should have just destroyed the luminous Adra. That could have stopped the Vailian Company dead in its tracks here. Where? Oh yeah, we came downstairs. Or we went upstairs, actually. Let's go to the exit. But we have a bounty to go turn in somewhere, I think, here in Neketaka. There's one in Dunnage as well. Or that could be where the other one is. Seems that I have gained in skill. Focus on mechanics. I believe it's very important. And, of course, insight. Now, as to what abilities I will have studied and learned in the meantime. Amplified Wave. Manifests the target's allies' mental strength and projects them outward forcefully, causing a shockwave that inflicts crush damage and knocks enemies in the area effect prone. Let's go to the Sacred Stair. Maya scratches the back of her head. We decided to go to the Brass Citadel to clear up a few things with the Royal Deadfire Company. There was nothing at Sacred Stair for us besides selling to merchants.
This is where we part ways. For the moment.
Huh? What's going on, Maya?
Asura will want me to report in alone. Sorry, it's company business. I might not be back for a few days on account of this.
Maya chews the inside of her cheek and reaches into her pack. She produces a sealed missive.
I'm supposed to handle this one alone. I won't ask you to come along or get involved.
At first it seems like she's looking down at Ishiza. In fact, Maya is looking down at her feet. I'll go with you. Where are we bound?
When I said I won't ask, what I mean is you weren't invited. This is a one-woman, one-bird kind of job. You've got Shodi to keep you company. You two play nice.
You stay safe, you hear, Ma? Come back in one piece.
Don't like the idea of losing another crew member over... I'd make it... I hope she's not going to get in trouble on for the decision I made over it.
Go have fun.
With the
Chase a
Luminous
god,
Adra.
save an island. Do what you do best, Captain.
She nods encouragingly. Safe travels, Maya.
You as well. Just don't have too much fun without us.
She nods to me, holding her gaze, my gaze, for an extra moment before she clicks her tongue to summon Ishiza. One short again. But we have to go see Asura anyways. Asura's asked me to thwart the Vailian Trading Company's plans for Poko Kohara. He'll want to know what we did. Was it here? I think that has more to do with the missives that she was delivering. Sure where Asura is. I don't think Asura's here.
My favorite privateer.
Oh, yes.
Clear skies.
I'm still hunting Radolf.
Our enemies sow discord in the waves while you tarry.
Wakoyo raises his brow and peers closer to make sure he has my attention.
Let no one say aha the lazy privateer. Seek your target and be done.
Farewell.
You must gather party before venturing forth.
So is it up here? Imperial Command? Officers Lounge? I take it's up here.
She must have meant a real lot to you.
Well, more than I knew. Less than she deserved. But that's all past now. For a moment there, I thought her son might have been mine.
It's a shame he wasn't. You would have been good to him. Good for him, too.
When I heard, I didn't think I was ready. And then I thought maybe I was.
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought he was your son, too. I'm not here to see the Hazanui. I'm here to see Atsura. If I can remember where Atsura would be. Is it over here? Or maybe it's in the lower levels, actually. No, it's not Asura either. That might guide us. I think this is where Asura is.
It's impossible to cheat at Hazatoa.
He acts like
I don't
he's
think this is going to go very well.
Then he does something else.
Clear skies.
He tilts his head as he watches me, his eyes unblinking. I restored the luminous Adra at Poko Kohara.
That explains the rumors the Vailians are scaling up in Queen's Birth. I'd hoped you would stop them.
His expression doesn't change, but I can feel his dissatisfaction like a shift in the temperature. Huh. Yeah. The only I can do is shrug, but now I have their trust. Imagine what I can do with that.
Quite a lot, I think.
He opens his unblinking eye a degree wider and nods approvingly. Showed he didn't like that.
Nevertheless, I'm more interested in reports the storms around the islands have cleared. What do you know of this?
He leans a little closer, his hands folded behind his back. There was a cloud of essence corrupting the Adra. Clearing it ended the storms.
Even if this isn't the outcome we'd wanted for Poko Kohara, your observation is infinitely more valuable. Take this, and remember it the next time we call on you.
He hands me a purse, but his expression is distant, as if he's still thinking about what I told him.
We'd long suspected something unnatural was behind the storms, but we had little evidence.
The smile playing at his lips is that of a man who's seen the next 3 moves in a game of Hazatoa. Rauatai is plagued with terrible storms. You think there might be a connection?
Yes. If the storms that assail Rauatai have a similarly unnatural origin, then perhaps they too can be stopped.
He looks back up at me, his eyes bright with purpose.
And if that's the case, then there's more work to be done. Work that you might be able to help with.
Another silence passes as he regards me.
After all, somebody has to keep the peace in these tumultuous times, no?
He smiles, showing me all of his pointed teeth. Yeah, showing me pointed teeth, I don't know if that's good or bad.
In any case, Hazanui Karu has a matter that could use your help.
Oh, the leader, okay.
Her office is on the main floor behind the large double doors. It's most conspicuous.
He frowns a little. Yes, thank you.
Strategy. And don't you work for Atsura?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.